Yo, it's DJ Akademiks. Welcome to another episode of Off the Record Podcast, man. I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, the GOAT out of Chicago. I'm here with Polo G, man. I felt like we should have had to sit down. I feel like we had to sit down, like, scheduled already, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, I think it was around the last time I was supposed to be dropping.
Yeah. Now, what took so long with the album? I seen a lot of fans pretty much, they were like, yo, what's up? They wanted the album a long time ago. I think it was promised like last August. It was like about a year ago, right?
Yeah.
Hood Poet, right? We finally have a release date, 9th?
Yeah, August 9th.
Okay. What took so long?
No, there was a lot of pushback and just coordinating with my label and shit.
On a music level? On a music like vibe, or was it like the label getting their shit together?
Like a bunch of different shit on us coordinating together. Not like it being on their end or it just being on my end. It was like the effort on both our ends that kept on holding it up, or just going through technical shit, personal shit. It was a lot of shit that held me back from dropping my shit.
Yeah, when I seen that, okay, now it's coming out, I'm like, I feel like in the last year, man, you've gone through so much, like, shit, if you're going to put those experiences into the album or use as content, shit, that might be another album, you know?
Yeah.
Did you think about like that in terms of like, yeah, you know what? Whatever you had last year, let me polish it up, let me put some more records?
No, it wasn't even really that, because, like, I'm always creating music, you know? But it wasn't really like me trying to perfect the album as far as adding more records or wanting to talk about what I'm going through, because that's a given. Like, I'm a rapper. Like, I'm always be talking about what I'm going through. So I definitely wouldn't hold it up for that. It was just like a bunch of other shit, you know?
Yeah, I feel like you're one of the biggest rappers that I feel we know the littlest about. Mm-hmm. Like, we really usually don't see certain aspects of your life. We hear the raps, and obviously, like, I think you create a very vivid picture. But like every now and then, we'll see some shit. Like I see you posting on the ground. I think it was on your story. You say, "Yo, I'm like the best rapper." Like, I forgot exactly how you phrased it. Yeah. And I remember I posted it, and people were having some debates, and it was going back and forth. And some people was like, "Well, nah. Well, he was, but he fell out of that conversation." And some people were like, "Nah, this nigga hella underrated." What sparked you to even put that up in the first place? Did you feel like, you were getting overlooked or what?
Yeah, that was definitely a thing that led to that. Me feeling like I was underappreciated as an artist, because like you say, like, people don't really know me off my personal shit. You only know me off music, and I got as big as I did. Like, a lot of niggas can't say that in hip hop. Like, a lot of hip hop boosts a lot of rap niggas in general with controversy and shit like that. Like, I don't really, like, of course I got shit going on now, but where you know me from the very beginning, it's just that nigga know how to rap.
I feel like that's like the steroids in this game now, where it's like, I feel like certain rappers get to a particular part, they start feeling like they maxing out their potential, and the label will probably be like, yo, you know what you need is, you need a girl that's popping on IG. You need to lean into the relationship, lean into some of the personal stuff. Like, again, you're right. You primarily what people know you for is music. Does that make you a little bit more proud to be like, man, I ain't had to do all the other bullshit for sure to get attention?
For sure, because that's just the type of person I am. Like, I keep my personal life personal, or to myself. And like, most of the time when you find out some shit about me, it's because another motherfucker who was in my circle or was close enough to me. That's how that shit came. Because I ain't really even trying to talk for real though.
You never speak on it. Like, I was looking up old interviews on you, and like, I mean, as you did one with I think that might be one of your most personal interviews. You were talking about like girlfriend and breakup. Like, you were talking about how you got your heart broken, like back in like high school or whatever the case is. Yeah. But really, we don't know. Like, again, you don't exploit that shit. Like, you're not a nigga to get online and be like, man, this motherfucker did this and this person did this. You kind of let everybody talk about you. How do you process that though? Because I know for me personally, when, even when you're trying to stay above the fray, there's only so much you could deal with when people saying stuff about you, because you probably have a side to your story, that whatever story it is too.
I'm more of an in-person person. I like to address a lot of shit in person or in real life, so the internet don't really faze me in that aspect, because I'm so confident in me knowing what's going on in real life that internet shit ain't gonna never bother me. Like, so that's one of the main reasons I don't never indulge.
You said you felt unappreciated. I'm guessing it's probably overall, but when you know, did you feel like it was the fans? Was it the media? Because I think around that time too, there was a lot of conversations about who were like either who was hot at the time or whatever the case, or who were the people to be watching out for. And sometimes those conversations happen and your name gets left out. And you know, sometimes unfortunately, we'll remind people like, oh shit, damn, this nigga look at this song that's been dominating the charts, or look how his music's been doing. Like, and you speak a lot through your music and your music doing well, but sometimes maybe because you're not that loud and boisterous, or you don't come across egotistical, like, people will be like, you know what I mean? I say the same about 21 Savage. He's a cool, close friend of mine. Like, every time I'm talking about Atlanta, sometimes he slips through the cracks because he's not the nigga who's saying, like, beating on his chest saying, I'm the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, how do you feel about it? That was the question and the statement. So like, who did you feel unappreciated by? And was that just one of those moments where you just have to remind people?
Yeah, it was more so that, like, as a whole though, like when you like what you were saying earlier, like sometimes your name getting left out of certain topics or discussions, and you know how much you accomplished, that'll make you look at shit like, what the fuck? Why you don't feel me? Why you ain't saying me, or why my name ain't in that discussion? You know,
what discussion did you see? Maybe was it like a rap discussion, or is it overall rap, or was it like Chicago? Because sometimes I feel like even when, you know, they're talking about the greats that are coming out of Chicago, sometimes they'll forget about you. You get what I mean? And,
sure.
and sometimes that's a skewed perspective, because they'll look at the people who, you know, sometimes have a lot of controversy because they know Chicago for that, but they're not realizing, like, shit, whether they know it or not, you're a Chicago artist who's doing crazy numbers, who probably maybe done some more numbers than some of the other people they talk about.
Yeah, I've look at that as more so like experience thing, I say. Like, all of the other rappers that's in these same topics or discussions is like the forefathers of this drill shit, Chicago rap shit, been doing this shit like 10 years plus, you know. So I really can't really, I mean, of course I want to be in that because this the city that I'm from. You know, I grinded, I made it out there, motherfucker, and I did my shit. But that's the only way I look at it when it comes to Chicago, because people done got artists that they done grew up on since they was little kids, and then I'm still, I mean, during my break, which added on to the time, but like I was an artist that took off in a small amount of time and accomplished a lot in a small amount of time. So that'll make, even though I'm accomplishing so much, we're only having we're having a small amount of time in, that'll make a motherfucker not really want to look towards like what I'm doing. You know, I don't know. That's how I see it though.
Why do you think people knock you for the smallest things? Like I'll look online sometimes and it'll be like the pettiest shit. They'll be like, yeah, we call him Piano G. Like, he be using a lot of piano type beats, which is like, to be honest, I think they fire, right? But like, it'll be the little things they use to kind of like knock your artistry, while others, you know what I mean, that might either do the same or they have their own thing about them. They don't get no type of criticism, right? I don't know, do you ever see shit like that?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely hip to the Piano G shit though. I don't know. I think people like got their personal preferences, shit that they like. I think every artist get picked with in some type of shape, way, or form though. Like, cause everybody got their niche, and in today's age of hip hop, it's more so like the fans looking for something to complain about, to me personally. Like, because everybody got a niche, and I feel like you should stick to what you best at. Like, I really wouldn't even categorize somebody right now as the best rapper. Like, I feel like you can go to a lot of different artists for something specific and be able to live with them or fuck with them that way. I feel like people who on the outside of those fan bases who like something else, those are the ones who mainly complaining. It's about 30 niggas you can listen to and 30 niggas that's different from each other. So I feel like that's where them discussions come from.
Were you ever frustrated by that though? Because, like, you know what I mean, shit, you know, again with you, like for me, and I'm using myself as an example, then I'm just trying to give an analogy to you. Like, it took a while for me to, like, what people would normally complain about me or say act as this or whatever. Sometimes it bothers you after a while. Like you might just see it from one person at a random time. You're like, man, I'm either gonna respond or whatever. How did you get numb to it? Especially, you're still, I think you're a young veteran. I would call it. You're definitely not a rookie, definitely not a sophomore. You're a young veteran in the game at this point.
Yeah.
But usually it takes a while to develop thick skin, right?
Yeah. I feel like I really just got to that point in my life, like in the last year or so. Being younger, I definitely will. I'm somebody who, coming into this shit, as much as I put into my music, I was real sensitive behind like anything somebody would say, because like I know how hard I'm working, and it don't take much. It take a few seconds for a motherfucker to judge you or leave a comment on some shit that you probably took hours to create. You could take a year to create an album, and somebody could try to discredit that in less than 5 minutes. So there's definitely frustration in that. But like me coming and understanding the game and getting my feet wet as long as I have, I really be accepting a lot of shit.
Yeah, no. I mean, watching you come up, there's a humbleness about you that I think people get that usually isn't aligned with how people think of a rapper, right? You got your project named Hood Poet, but it could have been Humbled Poet, because like it's I don't see you kind of like the person who's just like just moving off ego a lot. You seem kind of like very much within your lane. Don't look like you're trying to, wild out over respect and nothing like that. A lot of times people view rappers like superheroes. Yeah. You kind of want your favorite rapper to be talking shit, and by the way, I feel like you do a good amount. Like, I mean, nigga, you say you the GOAT. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, it's not like you're like, oh, I'm just okay. But it's like people want for you to, maybe through other means too, talk shit on the gram, like just kind of be arrogant. But you don't seem like you come across arrogant.
No. I know that's one that, like, my pops always tell me, though, if I was to show my personality more, like, from what people close to me know me as, that I'd be a way bigger artist. Because, like, to get to know me, I feel like to get to know me is to love me. Like, I got a pretty outgoing personality when I warm up to people. A lot of times, though, I do stray away from popping my shit. Like, I don't know, I'm stuck in being humble to a fault sometimes. I do feel like I'll be in a better position if I was just able to put myself out there a little bit more.
Yeah. So the majority of this music that we're going to get, like, what's the vibe of it? Obviously, you just dropped the joint with you and Dirk. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Both of y'all talking some shit on there. I like that record. What's the direction of, because obviously it's Hood Poet, so I'm guessing we're going to be seeing things from your lens in a poetic sense, right?
Yeah, it's definitely about a lot of struggle, a lot of shit that I went through, really connecting back to my roots. I feel like with my last album before this, I was really on some versatile, mainstream artist shit, but like I really went back to the trenches with this album, with this project.
How have you been dealing with, like, in the last year? I feel like, and I remember doing a stream that I talked about, I said, man, I feel like maybe, we went for a long time not knowing a lot about you. And then stuff started happening in the media, not to your control, right? It's like shit's just randomly popping up. How do you either refocus that energy back on yourself, or how do you deal with when, it's other people around you that's kind of causing distraction? Because I thought I was like, oh, damn, this might be distracting from the music. Or not you particularly, but we never had nothing to sink our teeth in but the music, right? So if we're going to talk about you, it's only going to be about music. When people now could be like, well, yo, did you hear this about him? You heard that about him? It then kind of distracts away from what you just dropped last night, right? And that's the main goal, right? So, in the last year and everything, how have you kind of try to make sure the focus stays on the music? Because that's your main goal, I could tell.
I feel like me just letting that shit bypass, I feel like it helped. And definitely just getting back to dropping the music. I think the inconsistency with my music would bring more focus to the drama. It's like when I'm putting myself more out there and being on the cycle of putting something out every few weeks or months, though, that alone be the biggest distraction. Because when people ain't got shit to talk about, they gonna try to figure out something, you know.
Yeah, but now like you have an album cycle. You got to come do an interview. They gonna ask you about it.
Yeah.
Was it something where you maybe realized you had to make some changes because some of these things aren't positive that's going on, right? And that's what I'm saying. You come off so humble that I think when people see some of these things, they're like, yo, for a guy who seems so level-headed and humble, his life is chaos. There's all type of shit going on there. You know what I mean? And, you know, that shit's hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Like, did you learn anything in the last year?
Yeah, I learned a lot. I can't really pinpoint like everything in one sentence, but I know I learned a lot. I say one key thing was patience, you know, and even being there and learning how to respond to them things. Like if back then anything in my life that I didn't really want to touch on, or like how you saying that I'm going to have to address some of these things. Like in the past, I'd have gotten an interview and told you just straight up, I ain't trying to talk about that. I don't even want to go that direction at all. I done did 3 interviews giving my best type of explanations for shit. Like, cause I'm more understanding as an adult, like shit happens. And people do be wanting to know what's going on though. You just gotta.
And your fans care. Like I think your fans is probably looking at like, you know, again, I mean, my opinion on some of the stuff was just like, I feel like people around you is fucking you up. You know what I mean? And I also understand when you also want to keep either family or everybody close to you. But as you kind of go, like, you know what I mean? You got to love your people. But, you know, sometimes you might have to get real management. You might have to go get, you know, move like how other artists move, which kind of might be tough because you probably come from all these other people probably wasn't there when you started. You want to bring everybody with you. But every artist goes through that, where you trying to bring everybody with you and you realize it's just impossible, bro. You get what I'm saying?
For sure.
So you know what was interesting? So I wake up one morning and DJ Vlad calls me. So DJ Vlad was like, yo, man, Polo G just cussed me out. He said he gonna do this to me. And I'm like, I'm in disbelief because I'm like, yo, the whole time I'm like, yo, Polo G? Because also, again, you know, the demeanor, because a lot of people don't know you. And when I mean know you personally, how you act, like, I'm like, nah. I'm like, you must have did something else. You get, and he was like, no, I showed up on your show. I said that. I saw him in a bank. And he basically just went 0 to 100 with me. And what happened there?
I really just wanted to contact him after I seen your interview with him, because I just feel like he was just doing a little too much. It wasn't nothing towards the bank situation. He keep on saying something towards the bank situation. That shit wasn't really nothing to me. Like, I don't really feel like he lied and, you know, or was trying to be like tough or no, like, I ain't no situation where I feel like a nigga showing me up on that side. Like,
I thought that's what it was. I was like,
oh hell,
I was like, why would he care that he said he spoke to you like a man at the bank?
Hell no. It was just more so me feeling like he was saying certain shit, speaking on me, saying certain shit that I didn't agree with when he was talking to you. And like, it was like him saying shit like, I'm getting so big. I got so big. I felt like I was above reproach and money solved problems. Like somebody characterizing you in a way that you not really, that's not how you are. And you on a public platform saying this about me. Like, of course I'm gonna get mad. And I'm trying to holler at him. And the shit just went left though. Like, you know, this shit different.
I think you got him. Well, he gonna say he wasn't spooked, but I think he was like, the way he was describing it to me was like if y'all ran into each other in Calabasas at a goddamn branch, it might be a life or death situation. And I was just like, because he said you were like, yo, pull up on me. I want to see you face. But the way he read it in a white man voice, so it sounded like, yo, I'm finna kill you, nigga. Is that what you, come on, be honest. Was that the tone? Maybe you were mad. Maybe you were mad.
No, you know, like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, that's this regular shit to me, though. You know, like, if I'm getting upset, I'm gonna raise their voice. What the fuck, I'm gonna talk to you calm. Like, I don't know. I think he reading too much into it, though.
Oh yeah, nah, yeah. So is he okay? Is he safe?
Yeah, he cool.
So if you see him, nothing's gonna happen. He's gonna be watching this because I could tell. And this is, you know what I said to him? I said, Polo G is probably gonna learn a lesson out of this, and I'll tell you the lesson because I told Cardi B the same lesson. It's never a win for artists, especially one like you that don't speak as much or communicate as much, or people don't see a personality, to beef with the media. You know why? You're gonna have Vlad for the next 3 months just keep talking about you. And it's not in your best interest to respond after every time. So he's just gonna be generating dollars talking about you. Then the more he talks about you, he sets a narrative. Oh, this is an asshole who thinks of this, who thinks he's extra tough. And, you know, as you're telling me, you're saying, nah, that's not what I'm on. So I always tell artists, I'm like, a lot of times, listen, it's rather you just ignore the media or try to just really reason with them than really argue with them. Because honestly, like that situation there, I've seen like 2 interviews now where he's like bringing it up, right? And it's characterizing you as a particular, you know, like how you act. He's like, yo, you know, this guy comes across like he's arrogant and like, yo, he thinks he's super tough, which, you know what I mean, that's not going to help you, right?
Yeah, but it's like, because, shit, I don't know. I mean, I feel where you coming from, though, for sure, as far as, like, saying that you wouldn't want to, I don't really want to argue or get into it with nobody. Like I say, I'm more of an in-person person. Like, motherfucker, I feel you a little bit more when you talking to them face-to-face about an issue that you got going on. So that ain't even really my thing. But I just felt like we could have hollered at each other, you know. That's why I probably fucked up at, but like still people knowing me, like you saying, you was telling me earlier about how you feel like I carry myself. Like that's consistent. You feel like that because of consistency. I'm consistently the same person. So no matter what a motherfucker say, you know, like people can see how I'm coming in. Just like how we create a reputation for ourselves, the media do too. Certain platforms and people.
True. And I think that's where it started. He said you responded to like an Elite Chopper tweet saying, which I think a lot of people were saying that at the time, but I guess he felt like he was like, I didn't know he interviewed you before. He was like, damn, why you saying it? You know what I mean? So you just wanted to have a conversation with him. It wasn't like, yeah, I'm about to like.
No, I just really wanted to like tell him what you on though, like, cause you like how you explaining right now that he had a problem with the shit I said with Chopper. So why would you speak on me publicly if you had a problem with me saying anything about you and you feeling like I was speaking on you in an ill manner and you doing the same like 2-3 years away? You still bringing that shit up, like you still feel away about the shit, like. And I was 20, 21 at the time, probably 20, 21 at the time.
That's why I thought it was squashed.
Yeah, I'm saying like I'm like. Not to even really play that role, because I don't need to try to play victim and no shit. But I'm saying, like, at the time, a kid, you grown as hell. What the fuck?
Yeah. So would you talk to him to resolve it, or you're like, man, forget that shit?
Yeah, that shit.
Some of the other things that happen, and you know, obviously, there's a few things that happen to be criminal as open cases, so I don't expect you to comment on that at all. But have you changed how you moved, like, or move around? Like, you know, one of the things was that you got caught with a weapon in New York City. Mm-hmm. Obviously, open case, you don't got to speak on that. But what I thought, I was like, man, this guy's one of the biggest artists out. Mm-hmm. He got to be moving with security. He got to have people in it. Like he has to have a team around him that, you know, of course you probably are in well, not necessarily like inferior life, but like, you got to make sure you're safe, but has that changed how you move even with your team?
I don't really know what to, like, how to.
No, I mean, like, just situations like that. You know what I mean? Like, have you changed how you and your team either move in terms of security or anything else? I don't know why I expected to hear a different answer. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that too much. Hey, I don't know if you can talk about this. The situation, like, we seen some shit on the Ring camera. Apparently it was your sister and your mom going at it. You weren't in the. I looked at the video. You weren't in it, but I've always said this is kind of the price of fame, right? You've given your siblings, you've given your family members a platform, and now anytime anything they do, and again, these are problems that happen. Sister fight with brother, sister fight with sister fight with mom. But now everything is, yo, that's Polo G's sister. That's Polo G's mom. How do you look at that situation, and do you gotta, I don't know, call a family meeting and be like, yo, listen, yo, this does hurt the bag a little bit because people all tie you to me?
It's definitely a conversation. I feel like throughout my career though, we always like keep shit tight, or just always reconvene with each other about everything, or just coach each other through certain situations on how to go through shit, you know. But it's possible for anything to go left though. I feel like that's just one of them situations. Like, I personally feel like it ain't nothing that I would read too much into, because I know my family better than anybody, and I feel like everybody got family issues. So I'm looking at it more so from that perspective than feeling like, oh, it's the end of the world, because people see that my family can have problems and issues too. Because
everybody else's family. So for you, you care about it more on the family side than, oh my God, you guys are hurting my brand.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a realistic way to look at it. So, you know, a lot of people looked at like even, and this was one of the, I remember this got posted by everybody. It's like back in the day, and I think some cop was messing with y'all, and like your mom was like pretty vocal and was like pretty much defending you. I think even your sister too. Mm-hmm. They were trying to lock you for something, some false shit, right? Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people at that moment was just like, damn, that's dope. Like your family being there with you, you know, they genuinely love you and they're standing up for you, right? Is that one of the reasons why, like, you know, it feels like you've never like left them behind in terms of like, you know, you as the rapper, but you're like, you know what, just look at me and don't look at my family. That's private. Like, you're like, no, these are my family members, and you've given them platforms too.
Yeah, I'm just a real family oriented person, and like what way I was raised is like that's something that we put before anything. You put family before anything, and the moment and second that I got my shining spotlight, I was willing and ready to put it on my family too. That's just the type of person I am. Just wanting to see my peoples do good. And like starting out, everybody had a hand in what I had going on. Like my pops was setting up my equipment on tour. My sister was my tour manager. My mama was my actual manager. I probably had my little brother playing hype man for me at certain shows. Like, that's just the type of person I am. I want to see all my peoples winning and doing good, and being with me if I'm doing something good. So, like, you know, it'll inspire them.
Yeah, so pretty much you're saying they were all part of your success. So like, you just, for me, I look at it like this, and I wonder, have you ever looked at it like this? Because the more successful you get, they also become a target of other people, right? They become a target of people making up lies about them, maybe a baby mama, or maybe a nigga who's going to be lying on them or trying to take advantage of them. And I know for me, like, man, I feel like I signed up for everything. So whatever comes with it, I'm good with that. But like, I want to protect my mama, or I want to protect, like, you know, like my brother hit me about some shit. He was like, yo, some random person text me, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, yo, I get them threats every day. But like, he never got them threats ever. So like, I felt bad, you know what I mean? Like, have you ever had that mentality, or they've just kind of seen the experience with you, so it's not like something you got to protect them from?
I ain't gonna lie, my family different. They can hold their own for sure. I don't feel like I gotta protect them for nothing. I just, like I say, I have my conversations with them to know, like, to be mindful of certain things. You know, like, especially with my siblings doing music, it'd be more so a criticism thing, like how to handle that. But like, all in all, I feel like they pretty smart. They can hold their own.
Oh, that's the worst. For one time, and I felt like I was almost reversing the roles with my mom one time. She was in my comment section arguing with a fan, and I was just like, nah, you can't argue with a fan, because now I know how fans get. The fan gonna say something to you, and now I gotta get crazy hot. I heard your mom say before that, you know, when you guys were younger, she pretty much made sure that you guys didn't have to, like, do all these weird odd jobs, and she basically as a provider, like she was trying to make sure she did as much for you guys as possible. Is that something where you now look back and be like, damn, if those sacrifices made for me, I got to pay it back forward almost?
For sure, 1,000%. My mama really stood 10 and taking care of us, being primarily just taking care of us, making sure we were straight, like doing the best jobs that she can. So, of course, I feel like that's every like young black or young person, period, coming from my circumstances. They want to make sure they OG straight. So that was definitely something in my mind as soon as I got to where I was going.
How do you balance like egos of people around you though? Because here's the thing. Sometimes you might, everybody's getting certain type of shine, but now they might start feeling like, man, I'm an IG influencer now. I'm a super rapper manager mom now. You get what I mean? Like egos come into play and those could clash, but also there's dynamics, right? You know what I mean? Shoot, your mom's your manager, so it's like your mom might be like, nigga, at the end of the day, you my son. Fuck what you talking about. You know what I mean? How do you deal with those things? Because you're still at the head of the entire business, and you gotta wear multiple hats.
Yeah, with that, I just check shit. Even a friend, anybody who working with me, just check a motherfucker where they fall short though. And
is that easy to do all the time though?
No, because sometimes them difficult conversations to have when you care about somebody, but you definitely got to check a motherfucker where they fall short all the time.
Would you fire somebody? Like, say it's one of your day ones, a nigga who used to be on the block with you. Say you got him in a role right now. He's somebody who help out on tour, but he fucking up. He might be not taking that serious, or this happens a lot. He might be like, man, I've been with Polo before all this shit, man. Like, man, I could slack off. Y'all niggas been doing y'all job, but I could slack off. That happens. So have you ever had to have one of those kind of conversations? Because that's the tough ones, because that's your man's and he's looking at you like, nigga, you've always talked to me as a friend. Now you talking to me as a boss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I ain't never really had to have them type of conversations with my homies. I feel like everybody, we like in that regard, we all on the same accord though. Like, but if I had to, for sure, I'm gonna get rid of a motherfucker if I feel like they ain't helping the cause or hurting it, for sure.
What's your relationship with like the majority of like rappers, at least at this point? Like, I feel like rap is at like a very odd point where we're at a turning point where like we go through, I always say an era in rap is about 3 to 4 years. Yeah. And I believe that now we're about to get to a new era, right? And a lot of this is where the conversation is going to come up of, okay, who's going to make it back from that era to this era? And usually you see a lot of things change. For example, I want to name the exact rappers, but I was like, damn, 3 years ago, so-and-so rapper was kind of like all we talked about. Now, not as much. How do you make sure you stay in that, not saying chasing relevance, but how do you make sure you stay in that relevant conversation and that like you're not like left behind when clearly the culture is still always moving?
One way is to keep dropping and keep standing out though, for sure. I feel like it's a lot of shit going on and like everything changing. It's like algorithms on all these damn apps. It's like you got to do so much more. This shit like fixated on content now. Like you got a hot song, you better be TikToking and shit. This shit really weird from back then, but like I feel like staying true to yourself, making like a unique product for people to live with, cause like that's the most longevity you can get out of this shit. A lot of rap shit be like based off gimmicks, like we was just saying, controversy. You gotta have something solid that these people could live with and grow with too.
So when you think about content, I posted this tweet that you put up. You say you hate the way how these niggas dance nowadays. You know you gotta do a dance for you in a Dirk song. Yeah, you gotta do one of them dances where, you know what I mean, gyrate your hip or something. That's what go viral. You ain't gonna do that?
Hell no.
What you mean you don't like how these niggas dancing? Like how they dancing nowadays?
I don't know. I just don't like all that other shit.
What's the poppin' dance right now? Now I ain't gonna. If you on TikTok though, you gonna see a lot of little zesty dances. There's a lot of them.
Some niggas be too big, too damn swole to be doing all that moving.
Yo, have you seen that one dude in the NBA with the nails? Like, he be on there doing all the dances, but when he be doing it, like, there's like an extra snap in the neck. Like, yo, for real, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Jared McClain. Yeah, for real, like, it's like an extra, and I'm like, yo, and that's when, you know, I mean, that's when I look at him like, I don't say nothing about sexuality, but I think she's straight, but I'm like, damn, maybe I am getting old, man. Like, maybe this is how the youth is really rocking now. This is a new type of dances. You get what I mean?
Yeah, it should change for sure.
Like, I could imagine, like, back in the day when older people saw younger kids doing a stanky leg. They were like, what the fuck? maybe it was that, right?
Right. Oh, bro. Yeah,
so you wouldn't do a dance?
I ain't never been no
Chicago niggas dance, though.
type.
Come on.
Yeah. But a lot of them dancing phases bypassed me. Like, niggas was bopping and footworking and doing all that. I ain't never do none of that shit. I'm just not no dancing type of person.
Is it because you don't got the moves, or you just think these dances are zesty, man? Keep it on it, man.
I feel like the new dances is, back then, I don't really think it was a zesty thing. I just like, you know, I always been like a laid back, damn near too cool for school type person. I get in the party, I'ma lean on the wall, wait for one of the girls to come back type shit, but I ain't never, no.
Nah, the dances did get a little too complicated. Ever since I seen that nigga Uzi on stage, and that nigga did about 15 dances like this and did a twirl and a split, I'm like, damn. I remember the most complicated dance for me, and I guess this ages me, the most complicated dance used to be Soulja Boy dance. Watch me, you did like 4 dances and like you just do it again. These days you gotta do all type of shit. Your hips gotta be moving. Kai be doing them shit's good. That's why I be like, yo, Kai's a whole different generation, man. What do you think about Kai Cenat?
I fuck with Kai. Tough, man. I was like one of the, I mean, from what I know, I feel like I was one of the first rap artists, like really tapped in with him, because I'm a YouTube surfer. Like, I surf YouTube.
You tapped in with all the streamers, though.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, what was it that made you think that was going to be like a wave? Because clearly it is, right?
I ain't really know whether or not I really got hip to streaming as time went along, like really understanding what it is. I just see they clips on YouTube. I wouldn't have never imagined that these kids would be getting this rich off of sitting in front of their computer. But it's definitely good entertainment. I ain't trying to knock it. I'm just saying, like, it's crazy. Like, it's so many different ways and avenues to make money nowadays. And streaming like a big part of media and music now, though.
Yeah, I was telling Kai and Aiden. Actually, I was telling Aiden, and I think you have experience. You were one of the first rappers who even gave him like that look, right? Like mainstream, because that's now the thing, right? Every rapper, and I remember saying to Aiden back then, when Aiden first started doing stuff for rappers, he used to beg me to post him, like, yo, bro, could you just throw this up on the page? He was like, yo, I'll host you on Twitch if you do it, right? Because I think he wanted to pay me. He was like, no, you just host me. Now, the thing is actually every label wants Kai to react to their artist songs. They want, oh, yo, go do a stream with Kai, which is like, it just kind of changed, right? And what do you think about that? Because some people might be like, well, they're not like music heads, but they do represent the demographic that your music is influencing.
You saying what I think about them, like, depending on the streamers?
Yeah. Because I've heard some rappers say they don't like when they hear hip-hop opinions or opinions on the music from the streamers. But even if they're not like super tapped into music or know a lot about music or care a lot about music, the fans that they got are who's listening to your music, right?
Yeah. But it go both ways, though. Like, it could be something that you shouldn't get mad at, but then I do understand, from an artist standpoint, I understand where they coming from. Like, you ain't really tapped into my music or this type of music, and your platform's so big, and you can, discredit a motherfucker on some shit that you ain't really hip to, or this ain't really your forte. Your cup of tea in the first place. Is like, that's putting the artist really in a lose-lose situation.
When you did Aiden stream, like, that shit went viral, but obviously I think people were just, a lot of people were wondering if it was staged, right? Like the whole thing where, like, clearly I feel like he was playing a character, right? But you just, You didn't fuck with that shit.
Yeah.
You know, most of these streams are like, it's like improv. I said that to somebody. It's like it's like going on Saturday. It's a new Saturday Night Live. You go on there, and it's kind of like all like you got to like play into whatever character that they're trying to bring out. But it's not just like a chill, because the fans are like, they have 300,000 people watching these days. Yeah, so they want to see. They want to see y'all do a dance battle. They want to see y'all bet. They want to see y'all play a game versus each other. Some shit. You know, it's like SNL. What did you think it was when you first went on 8 and shit?
I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even know what to expect. Like, I ain't know what he was gonna ask me or have me doing. It's just like I just end up doing this shit because I understood how important being a part of that side of media was at that point. But I ain't, because I like that around that time I did his stream. That's when it was first really becoming a thing that the rappers was pairing with the streamers on stream. At first they was just doing their thing on their own. Now you seeing like you will see Kai do the 24 hours with set and shit. I think that shit crazy though. Because like me, like my person, I can't do no shit like that. I can't do no shit.
I feel like you got a personality, but I feel like you have a hard exterior. Pause. Like you just, you know. You have a lot of you have a lot that you don't show people, and I think that's what those streams are for, right? Yeah. Like I was even talking about Kai, and like he did a stream with, who was it, Ice Spice, and I was just like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think Ice Spice got like a bubbling personality, cute girl, but that stream made her look fun. Yeah. You know what I mean? So sometimes that's, you know, obviously if they hit you with the gay shit like that, like there's no way like. There's no way you could counteract that, but it's supposed to kind of like, you know what I mean, get you in a fun mood where they be like, oh shit, this nigga, oh damn, this nigga could play basketball. Damn, oh shit, he like funny, he got a humor, you know what I mean? Like, so you'd probably do another stream, just not like a 24-hour stream, right?
Yeah, I'm down to do another stream though, for sure. I fuck with it.
You big on TikTok?
I like scrolling TikTok. I don't really like posting on there though.
Is that how, someone told me that, like, that's the best way to keep up with current trends or keep, you know, knowing what's next. You think that's true, or do you not care?
To an extent. I feel like certain shit that you see on TikTok, because like a lot of TikTok songs just live for like a second, like a hot second. Like you could find what's really next, like to be a trend for a moment, for a nice little period of time. But a lot of that TikTok shit just really come and go. That's why I personally wouldn't primarily focus on having a song that's going up on. Of course that helps, but I think having a solid fan base is more important.
How you think you build a fan base in this year, like 2024? Like obviously you have a fan base, but like if you were supposed to either give advice or if you were starting out again, I think that's the toughest thing to do, because you're right. TikTok, like I've talked to labels who say they'll sign somebody on TikTok and they'll sign them for the song. They don't even want them as an artist. They sign them for the song. They know this shit gonna burn out. And pretty much they're like, no, you can go do your thing afterwards, because usually that's it. But a fan base now is like so hard to build, right? How is it just the music, or is it like maybe the approach to the music, or is it maybe different platforms putting the music on? What do you think it is?
One thing for sure, being selective with your drops and making sure the shit that you dropping is your best shit, though, especially when you build in the audience, because you want to keep their attention. You don't want to venture too far to the left, like hone your sound, because I feel like a lot of those TikTok artists, they don't dig deep enough into perfecting their craft and honing their skill. It'll just be like they made a song on some fly-by-night shit, and they don't really have shit else left, though. Like, so really tapping into your potential, too. I feel like those things and being consistent is what really help you grow a fan base. Touring, too, for sure.
You mentioned being selective with your drops. There's like almost two schools of thought with that, right? Like, you know, you have some people who they'll be like, damn, and I wish I could drop as frequently. Well, he hasn't done no while, but I frequently as like NBA YoungBoy. Mm-hmm. And then like someone like 21 Savage is like, yo, to keep it real, I like to drop as least amount as possible, because I'm dropping music. Like the music I'm making is gonna last for a while, and it's more significant. Mm-hmm. So, you know, how do you choose? Like, is it different if you're? Is it about the music that make you choose either path, or is it just kind of like how you treat the music? because if you're making a bunch of like songs that's hitting for the moment, maybe you want to drop frequently. But if you're making songs that like, yo, this is gonna take 6 months, like, you know, I'm gonna promote it and this just gonna live for a longer time. Because that's a lot of your songs. Like I'll look up in 6 months after you drop, your shit's still on the charts, right? So how do you make sure your music lasts, I guess?
It's like finding a perfect medium in between being selective and consistent. And I would for sure say knowing who you are as an artist, though, because I ain't gonna lie, like certain artists gotta be real with themselves and say, like, this shit, I gotta milk this shit for as much as I can.
Yeah.
Get as much out of it as I can. And certain artists, they know what they got. You know what product. You should know your product best because you the one gotta sell that motherfucker. So certain artists know that they got some shit that's gonna last for a while and they could hold on to their shit a little longer than other artists can.
So this project you got coming up, you're certain this is gonna be able to hold people over, I'm guessing, for at least a year, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely not gonna ever do this 3-year, 2-year break shit ever again in my life, though.
We know Smirk's on it. Who else is on it?
You got Glow on there.
Okay.
Doug,
Glow been
Honcho.
going crazy recently. I ain't gonna lie.
She on fire. I got Swerve on there.
Oh shit.
Future. Friday. Offset.
You got Friday on there.
Yeah, I fuck with Friday.
Great song maker.
Yeah.
You got Offset on it too?
Yeah.
Shit.
I got Kid Leroy on there too.
Really? Are these like mostly just organic relationships, or like your label A&R just saying, yo, I'm gonna just get a verse or get a song from so and so? Because shit, you got a lot of heavy hitters on that bitch.
A lot of it be like, sometimes my label would be like, you should get in with this person, like somebody in my team rather. And sometimes it's just me hearing a certain song, I'm like, oh, I should get this person on this song. And I hit a motherfucking in DM, like, I got something for you.
So do you have a relationship with like say a Future or like even a Glorilla, or were those one of those where like your team kind of just like locked you in with them?
I forgot how me and Future connected. I think it was through Busy. My people's busy, man. I think I hired him, hit him up for me, and he connected the dots. Like, it's a lot of people will fuck with me on a mutual respect thing, you know.
Hey, and tell me if you're one of these people, because I heard it that a lot of artists was doing for the first half of the year. Man, that Drake and Kendrick shit ate up a lot of like space. Like, it just, a lot of people didn't want to drop because it wasn't, people were so focused on that. So I guess a lot of people were waiting till like that shit died down a bit to drop. Did that matter for you, like in terms of when you were picking the time for you to drop or not?
No, hell no. I wasn't thinking about that shit at all. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I ain't saying like I wasn't tuned in, but I'm saying like as far as me dropping, no, hell no. Because I feel like that's two totally different.
I get it. Yeah. What you think about that battle? Like, would you ever rap battle, nigga?
I ain't really if it's on some rap shit.
I say the nigga that kind of don't fuck with you like in person, like, but it has to be a rap nigga, like not like a street nigga. Like if it's a rap nigga, he don't really fuck with you, but he make a song dissing you rap back at him.
I don't know. It depends.
You say you're in person, nigga. So
yeah, because I probably have been on the slap fuck out of him. I ain't gonna lie. Oh no, because I ain't finna do it.
Did you say you're about to be in the booth like, yo, what rhymes with what? Like, you're about to do that?
Yeah, I don't really think that's me though. Like, no, yeah, I probably would. Probably no.
What you think about that battle? Who'd you have in there? You know, everybody got to pick a side. That's what they saying. The whole industry got to pick a side. Are you Team Kendrick or Team Drake?
Being politically correct, I wouldn't pick a side, but I do feel like it was a great thing for hip hop. Like, I fucked with like how tuned in the world was. I think that was like a battle that the whole world was sitting back and watching, like, what you gonna say next? What you gonna say next? I feel like that was a dope aspect of it, because we ain't had that type of shit go on in hip hop. Like, the two niggas, like the top niggas, go at it in a while.
I thought it was also good because it's one of the few times people started focusing on the music. Like, I know they had their issues and they were claiming shit about each other, but like, shit, you wanted that song to drop, and a little bit. I felt like hip hop right before then was kind of straying off path, where like people were getting on some bullshit, like where people were on some shit like, you know what I mean? It's about the girl you dating. It's about what controversy you in. Like, you know what I mean? It's about like shit. If you was just in like a fight or some shit, and you know what I mean? Now people gonna focus on you, but it wasn't about just the music. And to watch them streams on them songs go crazy, I'm like, that's good.
Yeah.
Who you thought won? Come on, man.
I don't know. I don't want to pick a side, man.
Nah, you gotta pick a side. Just who you thought won. Or what's your favorite song out of the battle?
For sure, I like Not Like Us. That's my favorite song.
Yeah, that song is a bop, though. It's a bop. It's a bop. Yeah. It's a bop. Hey, as I said, look like it's the first time, and again, I'm only asking these questions because it's the first time we got any glimpse of your personal life. I seen like some random chick pop up on Shade Room, say she your side chick. Who are these people?
I don't know that lady.
You don't know
No.
this capping?
Yeah, I don't know. She just woke up wanting to do that shit one day. I don't know her. I ain't never met her. I don't know why the fuck she did that.
Don't that shit get you mad though?
I mean,
I'm gonna keep saying you an in-person type of nigga. Now somebody online capping, like just capping on your name.
But that's a girl. Like,
that's a girl. You can't really do shit, right?
Like, yeah, I'm just looking at it like, what the fuck? Like, it's really some weird shit to me, like crazy shit to me. Like, why she pick me though? Like, out of everybody to
shit,
pick,
you hot. That's hey, listen. It's disrespectful. You think she wouldn't pick you? You think you was gonna have this whole career without some drama?
But I'm saying, like, just to make up a lie, like, she just sat in her crib, like, today, this what I'm gonna do. Like, that ain't crazy to you, though?
It is crazy. But she probably needed some bread, some clout. You wasn't gonna send it to her. So, like, goddamn it, you know what I mean? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel a need to put out a statement? Like,
sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I be wanting to, but I just be like, man, fuck that shit. Like, I got better shit to be doing and worrying about than dressing a rumor.
That's good. I was just watching some podcast of a nigga. He guess he went to jail. He said, for the first 3 years, every time he woke up, he went like this to grab his phone. And we are addicted to these goddamn phones, right? So it's like, how do you entertain yourself if you're now like on the line? Because I ain't gonna lie, I wake up every day and I either look at drama going on with me or somebody else, and it's still entertainment. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Like, I be watching movies and shit. I go to the studio pretty early. I go to the gym. I do a lot of different shit. I got a little basketball court outside my crib, you know. I do a lot of different shit all day. I feel like being off my phone helped my mental better, and it helped me focus on what real life, like what's going on. But I definitely do got that habit, like waking up first thing in the morning. I got a lot of business on my phone, though, but like I definitely do that a lot, too. Like, just wake up, grab my phone, see who texts me. My assistant probably got a list of shit that I need to be handling. So I fall into that habit, too. That's another reason I be wanting to stray away from that shit. So I heard something like, if you spend the first 90, like how you spend your morning is like how your day gonna go, yeah. So like the first 90 minutes, if you don't touch your phone and you do other shit, then you probably end up having a better day.
How'd you learn? So because I also heard you on Bradley Martin's podcast where you were talking about, you know, even going to the gym, and you said that helps your mental. And it looked like, you know, even you saying, you know, kind of going on a binge from your phone at times, it helps you mentally. Like, was there a moment where you're like, man, this is it's either overwhelming, or you're just like, nah, you was just looking for better habits?
It's definitely overwhelming sometimes. I feel like it's toxic too. I personally, this is just something that I feel like I learned. I don't think we supposed to see thousands of people's thoughts all day. Like, if you scroll in Twitter, it's like you damn near own those opinions now, or just like something that you didn't really think from your own, like think of on your own. Now you got that to think about, or like, I feel like it probably alter our decision making too.
Probably a fact. You ever did it in like therapy or anything like that?
Yeah, I tried it. I be needing to find the right person though, cause I be feeling like motherfucker be goofy. Like, they don't really like
they don't understand you, or
yeah, or like, I don't know, like we just sitting here talking. I don't know. It's really weird to me though to even be talking about my problems. So that's probably why I feel like that. But
You probably kept a lot of things bottled in then before.
Yeah, I probably got to just find the right person though.
Do you think that, because I've heard this being said about you before, that they done took Polo G out of the hood, but they ain't take the hood out of Polo G. Basically saying that some of your habits and behaviors of not only you, but people around you don't reflect like somebody who's up tens of millions of dollars. It reflects as somebody who is still in the hood, still operating like, you know, their back's against the wall and it could go any day. Do you think that's accurate, or do you think that that's overblown?
I feel like it's accurate to an extent. I don't think it's nothing wrong with still having a little trench in me, you know. But I definitely operate with class. I feel like I ain't no out there like ignorant nigga though. Like I act like I got some sense. It's just when the opportunity presents itself, I'm gonna act a different way. But I don't come off as no like over tough nigga. That ain't never been my persona, you know.
Does that come from? I was just sitting with Young and Ace recently, and I asked this question. I said, "Are you be paranoid or?" And he said, "No, I'm not paranoid. I'm cautious."
Yes.
Is it that? Because what you're talking about is instincts, right? Like instincts that came up from you growing up and you surviving in that environment. But now that you have some shit that you could lose, and now you're a target. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, are you like, damn, you're paranoid, or you're just like, let me just be cautious, like, as I would be cautious as I was in the hood?
Yeah. Cautious, apprehensive. I'm a person that's, like, every situation I walk into, that's how, like, no matter where I'm going, that's, like, my mindset. Like, those the type of people who live long, especially coming from where we come from. When you get a little too loose or a little too cocky, a little too arrogant, that's how shit start going wrong. Not listening to your gut too.
Do you feel like that, you know, because now you're Polo G, the international superstar. People might see you on a picture. Do you think that make you a little standoffish, right? Mm-hmm. Because people might be like, "Man, why you looking like that?" You know what I mean? Why you looking like he might do some shit to, you know, because, like, people like to see their favorite celebrity smiling, like, yo, come on, let's take a picture, like, kind of like with their guard down. But, you know, that might make you, you know, kind of look like you're standoffish. You ever thought about that?
Yeah. Now, in the beginning of my career, it's probably something I just learned, like, to not act like that or not be so, like, hard all the time, though. So it's something that I learned through, like, experiences being around certain friends. Like, I got my homie Tone right here with me. Like, that's something that I learned from him, just handshakes, look at somebody in their eyes, smile, and being more welcoming, like not having so much standoffish energy, because that's just me having my guard up from where I come from.
Wait, so normally, if you in Chicago, like, if you don't do handshakes, like, what would your demeanor be? So if I see you, before all of this, I see you in Chicago, you don't know me, right? You don't know what type of time I'm on, how would your demeanor be? I'm trying to dap you up. I'm a stranger.
Like, yeah, like now I be like, yo, like embracing a person, saying what's up, shaking their hand. But like back then, I felt like this what it is. Like I wore it. Like you could tell that I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
Like talk to you or I'm looking like, why the fuck is you in my face? Or at first, but like it's something that I learned through time that it's a better way to go about it though.
Yeah, no. I mean, that comes with a lot of, you know, would you categorize that as, you know, like trauma? Because one thing I've realized, even, I love listening to, I think Chicago artists are the group of artists, especially the ones that come from the hood, right? Not saying certain ones don't, but when I listen to you, even Keith, I listen to Swervo definitely a lot, because shit, he named the album PTSD, right? Yeah. Like, I hear y'all wearing y'all trauma, but also working it out as y'all get a little bit older. You get what I'm saying? For sure. Is that something you've processed as that, or?
It could be that. It's definitely my personality too. I'm like, I deal with anxiety a lot. Like, I ain't really I feel like I got social issues, like social anxiety a lot of times. Like I just have, that's an issue for me just talking to people. Like no matter what it is, it could be on some friendly shit because I'm the type of person that got to warm up to people. So it could be both of those things though, on why I act like that.
What do you think about you know, especially, and that's why I like the song with you and Dirk, right? Because Dirk's movement recently has been like, yo, listen, we've been through a lot. I'm not gonna keep pushing war, and I was thinking, I was like, damn. Don't tell me Dirk about to start rapping like on some We Are the World shit, because you know people like that spicy talk. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then on the record now, he talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? He's still talking that shit, but he don't got to diss maybe somebody who died, right? Yeah. Or he ain't got to like, oh, now fuck these niggas, we gonna do this to them. But he's still talking spicy. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I thought it was a great balance. What you think about, you know, even that type of maturation and, you know, making the music. You know, you've never really done that where like you're like dissing the dead or whatever the case is, but still being within your element, but maturing your thoughts and how you deliver those type of subject matter.
Yeah, I wouldn't, like, the way I see that, like, I wouldn't want to be 30 still rapping about, like, clapping a nigga or, like, I definitely want to grow with my music, like, and change the narrative. Like, me personally, I know it's different strokes for different folks. Like, you can't really expect a person to see shit differently a lot of times, no matter how much success they acquire. Cause like where we come from, it's a nigga on the block. He 40, he's still in this shit. Like that's the mentality. It's hard to escape that mentality, no matter what you got going on. So, like I know me personally, and just dealing with life and being on both sides of it. Like struggle, hardship, being in the trenches, and then living this way, it definitely opened my eyes to like not wanting to rap a certain way the older I get.
Why that title, Hood Poet? And why even go towards poetry? Like I've always thought some of the most prolific people who deliver, like, you know, I always looked at Tupac as like someone who was very poetic and prophetic, and his music was just layered with not only sounding good, but it had messages that really inspired people and really stood for something, right? Why did you name your album that?
The craziest thing, actually, I ain't tell nobody this on the interview yet, but the craziest thing, I got that out of my comments. Like 3 years ago, somebody like Polo, really the hood poet, and I pinned it on one of my pictures. And like I kept that in mind. And working on a project with Southside, he was saying that I should come up with like some type of acronym meaning for my project, and that's where it came. Like I thought back on hood poet, and I feel like it definitely reflect like how I rap, like my music, like. It's very close to like how poetry would sound. Just, you know. And I did poetry before, like.
Really?
Yeah. Like when I was in high school, I was in a English class that my teacher wanted me to do poetry. I did this competition called Louder Than a Bomb. Chance the Rapper did poems and shit up in there. I think he still worked with the company and shit, but I definitely fucked with it like back in the day.
I didn't know that about you. Yeah. I would think that you were, just from your personality, to see what you say, I would think you were a little bit more standoffish. Like, you know, like you're not the person they're gonna call to come speak in front of the class. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, poetry is a way to express yourself. Yeah. Have you found it easier to maybe put your thoughts and feelings, or just generally just communicate that way rather than like say an interview? Because I think you well, obviously it's your job, but you communicate better in music than just sitting here talking to me. Yeah. Is that just easier and natural for you?
I don't know what it is. I think it's like the beats or something, or being in that type of space and owning it is like your place to vent. Cause I like always explain how I'm feeling better through music for some reason. Like I'm telling you, I'm struggling with a therapist, like communicating with them and explaining shit to them, but it's always easier on the beat for some reason. I don't really know. I can't tell you why.
Do you ever look at numbers and care about numbers? I feel like we're still kind of in the numbers era where people, they want to compare you to your last numbers, right? And it's like first week sales. Even though I think we kind of have to grow out of that because there's always going to be a number metric, but I think first week sales doesn't say the correct thing when, we should know how many people are listening to you in that first week. How many streams, even though they try to equivalate it, whatever. But do you care about numbers?
Early on, I wouldn't even say early on, because like for a long time I ain't care about shit to do with rap. Not in the sense like I'm like I don't know what I'm trying to say, like I'm above all this shit. Like I just genuinely didn't care. I was rapping because I love music and shit like that. But it's constantly accomplishing so much. You start to look at the shit when you getting hip to it. Like before I was rapping, I didn't never know what no platinum or song gold. I didn't know what Billboard. I didn't know none of that shit. So like progressing through my career and figuring a lot of that shit out, it did start training my mind to be like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, because I know what I accomplished in the past. But being 3 years away from my last project, I really start straying away from even caring about that shit, because you would drive yourself crazy trying to, I don't want to drop this week because this nigga might be dropping or this shit going on.
A lot of people play that game a lot, right?
Yeah, that shit get crazy.
Yeah, it's probably... I think a lot of artists use that and they get it in their own way, right? When your fans, like, especially if you haven't dropped for 3 years, they just want some shit from you, right? They want some shit. And also, you're one of those artists that you last a long time on the charts. So, like, I'll look up and sometimes I'll see some random page, maybe rap updates or some post. They'd be like, yo, rap star is this amount of time platinum or this time, you know what I mean? And that'll surprise me, because usually people think about hip hop songs as burnout songs. Like they hot real quick, they hit the club and then people need new songs. Would you ever do a collab album?
Yeah, I'll be talking to TJ about it.
I was just about to say that.
I'll be talking to TJ about it. Me and Swerve be talking about that too. It's like I got so many ideas and projects. Well, I wouldn't even say projects specifically, but so much music in the tuck that's worth a number of projects. So I definitely always think about doing a collab album with another artist, but I'm just trying to find the right time.
Yeah, I think either or would actually go up. Obviously you and TJ, and definitely if you did something with Swerve, that would be great. Who do you feel like you have the most natural synergy with?
It's a tie almost, but I really lean more towards the side of her, because a lot of times I could be in a stew with TJ and we really just kicking it. Like we don't never even get around to making the music.
What's that connection there? Obviously y'all people know y'all did Pop Out together. That's one of the biggest songs that kind of catapult you both into like a different dimension. But what's that dynamic between y'all relationship?
We homies, that's my dog, He supported me, I support him every step of the way. We came in this shit together, so that's why we always gonna be tight, Like I really fuck with TJ though. So August 9th, project. Anything else? I think I seen some shit saying you want to get into acting. Yeah, I definitely want to start fucking with acting. Gotta holler at 50, man. Let him put you in some joints. Which cam I can look at? And they gonna bring him. And he bringing up like BMF. Listen, I love 50, but like he got so many spinoffs, off the spinoffs. Like I just be catching up on that. Yeah. It's hard to keep up with. You got to put me on that power that's in the rack. One they got Tommy on. Just let me get on just an episode. Show my talents. I'm gonna be decent on that. How you know you're gonna be a good actor? You as an actor, you gotta be. You know what I mean? You gotta be like kind of like your personality gotta be popping off on screen. Yeah, as long as I ain't got to do no, like, they don't want me kissing a motherfucker, no weird shit like that. They got you, like, you ever seen The Wire? Yeah. They say, yo, your character like Omar. Omar was...
Nah, I can see you doing some shit. Now I would love to see. Hey, but here's the thing though. You don't necessarily need, shit. You could do a little mini film. I miss that back in the day. That used to happen. Like I remember Cam would drop an album and have like a little mini film with it, and obviously then he went to do movies. But you could drop like a little 15-minute film, have a shot. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people. I remember Nick Cannon tried to do it, right? The Chirac movie. People feel like Chicago and, the story of like even drill and some of the other things that come out of Chicago has never been told really good in a cinematic, way. Would you be down to work with people to get that? Because I think the one criticism from Nick Cannon was just like, bro, how you gonna have a movie about Chicago and it's like, these niggas not from Chicago, you know what I mean? Like they wanted authenticity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would want to play my part in that if it ever come about. Cause I don't think we ever had like a film that truly depict us like how we actually are. Like I know in that they gang banging off colors and shit. Like we ain't the city not coming like that. I think if we do get the perfect type of film that really show you how life is in Chicago, it'd be like something that's groundbreaking.
Real quickly, Yachty said Atlanta got the best fashion over New York and Chicago. You speaking facts?
Atlanta got better fashion over Chicago for sure. I wouldn't say New York, though.
Yeah, New York ain't going for it.
I wouldn't say
New York is tight by that shit.
New York, no, because a lot of fashion trends come from New York.
Yeah.
But now, today, and like right now, a lot of people do look at Atlanta artists for the drip.
Only thing I see coming out of Atlanta is painted nails, dresses, all type of shit, man. I don't know if we can just give them the drip capital. I'm like, listen, y'all can't, until I see every nigga with painted nails, I can't give y'all influential, but not with everything. I still got New York. And I'm in Jersey, so I got to rep New York for the first time. All right.
I think the one trend I could get them is the flare flare bottoms look. But I don't know about nothing else that I can really pinpoint right now. But I know that's a big wave.
Would you wear some shit like that?
Yeah, I'll be fucking with it.
Yeah, my fashion is, I don't got no fashion style. But I do want to hold down for the niggas in New York. I feel like New York is like super proud.
Yeah.
They super proud about this shit. All right, man. All right, anything else I missed? I know we got the album coming. Shit ton of features on there, which I can't wait to hear you locking with everybody. Are you shooting a video for the song Smirk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shoot that.
You're already shot or no?
No, we gonna shoot it though.
Okay. That song's already going up. Is there gonna be another single after this, or which songs you probably gonna come with after this that people could at least?
I got an On the Radar freestyle dropping, and then just my album coming out.
What's your favorite song on the album?
I like my favorite song I say is the Glow, the track with me and Glow, and the track with me and Friday. I like that one a lot, and I say Thorns, the track I got called Thorns. They're my top 3.
Everybody, make sure you check out the album August 9th, Hood Poet. Polo G, make sure you guys go check out the 3 songs he listed. Let me know what your favorite 3 songs are. All right. Anything else you want to say or shout out?
We good.
I appreciate you coming here and setting the record straight, but also, first time we got to chop it up like in person. We did one time we did something, but it was on like virtual shit back in
Zoom or something.
Yeah. So that was pandemic type of shit.
Yeah.
God damn. All right. Hopefully we get to talk again soon. All right. But appreciate you coming on, brother. Thank you for watching another episode of Off the Record Podcast. Akademiks, Polo G. We are out.